Okay, I'm up here at my son Lamar's workshop. Today we're going to be doing some electrical wiring for him. And my grandson Michael, he's going to be helping me with it. And let's walk inside and I'll give you a little idea of what we're going to be doing. First thing we're going to do, we're going to be installing a 100 amp main panel. That panel is going to be hanging right up here. And then we're going to put electrical outlets all throughout the building. There's going to be about 26 electrical outlets throughout the whole building. And then we're going to put lights up in the top and run wires for all of that and the switches. Okay, for the first step, we put all the little electrical outlet boxes and we've got them spaced all the way around the building at 4 feet apart. And because he wants to build cabinets underneath the electrical outlets, there's the switch for the lights. I'm going to show you over here how I'm doing the mounting of the electrical outlets. So what I'm doing, I'm mounting all the outlet boxes at 40 inches high. So I took a piece of PVC pipe, I've cut it at 40 inches, and I'm using that for my guide so that they're all at the exact same height. Put them on there and nail them in. Okay, so we got all the outlet boxes mounted. So now we're going to start pulling wires for all the outlet boxes. On these over here, these are all the outlets for his power tools. We're running all these outlets with 20 amp circuits. Okay, it's a little dark in here, but there's the 15 amp circuits that's being ran for the lights overhead. And Mike is pulling all the wire for the 15 amp circuits right now. Okay, Mike is pulling the very last wire for the last light. This little small building, we wired in we wired in 12 connections for lights. So that's a pretty good bit of lights for a 12 or 32, but this is going to be a woodworking shop, so he's going to need plenty of light to see what he's doing and how to build things. But Mike, that's your last one, your first time doing electrical wiring. How you feel about it?
I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun.
Is Pop a pretty good teacher?
Yeah, it was really a breeze.
Okay. This is the main breaker. We've already got it hung, and we've got all the wires ran, except for the one coming in from the house. We've got one feeder line. This is a 20 amp circuit. It goes this direction. And it feeds 8 20 amp outlets. Then we have another feeder line going this direction. I call it feeder line, it's a distribution line. It goes this direction all the way down this wall and feeds 8 20 amp outlets there. The third distribution line goes up through the ceiling, goes all the way across to the other end of the building and comes around and feeds 7 20 amp outlets there. We've also got 2 15 amp distribution lines. These are the white wires. They're for 15 amp service. Both of these wires goes over to the switch here next to the door, and they're the ones I've got labeled with the black tape on them. That's my 15 amp input lines. There's going to be 3 switches in this box. One switch will turn all the lights on this side of the building, And the other switch will turn all the lights on that side of the building. The third switch is going to turn on the two lights that's up in the loft. There's one outlet up there, and there's one outlet over there. He's using outlets for his lights because he's going to be buying the LED lights, similar to this one you see hanging right here. This is a LED light, and they have a cord on them, and you just plug them into an outlet to make them work. We're just using this to have a little bit of light inside the building for today. Okay, so my next step, I'm going to go ahead and take all these distribution lines, and I'm going to take the knockouts out and put in the inserts for them, and go ahead and get all of these wired up. Michael, he's working on the outside right now. There's Michael. Michael's been outside digging. We're having to dig a line from the outside of the building to the main house. Let me take you out there and just show you what we're having to dig. Okay, this is the outside of the building, and the panel box is inside directly on this wall right here. We've got to dig from here, this direction here, all the way to the corner, the far corner of the house up there, and then we'll have to cut through the blocks to get to the main breaker inside the house up there. So we got pretty good. Mike has got a lot of digging to do. Code calls for it to be 24 inches deep, so I'm sure Mike's going to do a good job up to code. Okay, let me get inside and do some wiring. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is knock some of these knockouts out for the distribution lines. I'm going to need 3 on the top up here. Just pop them out, twist them a little bit, and they'll come right on out. Then I'll be using these little clamps, and the clamps have a threaded nut. Put the clamp through the top and screw the nut back on from the bottom. Then when the wire goes in, after you put the wire through this part here, you just take a screwdriver and tighten the wire up so that the wire won't be moving around. So pretty easy to do. Okay, let me get all these hooked up and I'll bring you back short. Okay, now I'm doing the 2 distribution lines on the bottom. From the bottom, run the distribution line up through it. And then tighten up the screws on the bottom so it'll stay in place. Okay, and that got it. I'm going to do the other one now. Okay, I need a good sharp knife for this. I'm going to try my little homemade knife that my cousin Angela gave to me. So I'll use it a little bit on this project. Nice and sharp. when you bring your wires in, you want to be sure that you get them all looking nice and neat. So I'm going to let this wire come over this way. Take the white wire, bend it, it's going to come around this direction and go to the neutral. Let the black wire come down and go to the first outlet right there. Cut it off right there. Strip it back just a little bit. This is the number 12 wire, which is required for the 20 amp circuits. Put in there, get it tightened down. So work my way all the way around here. Okay, I've got all the distribution lines connected on the inside of the panel box. Now I'm going to put the input connector for the main feed coming from inside the house. Okay, put that up through there. Put the lock ring on. Get it very tight. Then we'll put this on the top here. Now when I get the wires coming in from the bottom, they're coming underground to here. They'll come right up to here, come in and tie in up here. Okay, on the outlet, I'm installing all of my outlets with the ground hole pointed downwards. On these, the gold terminals on the right hand side is for the hot wire, and the silver terminals on the left hand side is for the neutral. So I'll go ahead. Okay, that's the two hot wires on the right. Then I'll put the two neutrals on the left. Okay, that's got two neutrals on the silver on the left, two black hot wires on the gold on the right. Now we're going to connect the two grounds to this lug right here. Okay, now it's time to put this back inside the box. And as you can tell, the wires are sticking out a pretty good distance, and it's a little hard to push up in there. So this is a little trick that I learned years ago from an electrician, and so I just do the same thing. It works pretty good. Take your outlet, bend it downward like that. Then as you bend it back up, take your fingers and go in there and push down on the main wires and just push it back up in the hole. And that gets it in there where you can tighten up the screws to make it stay in there good. Okay, got it good and tight, and that's all there is to wiring up a 20 amp outlet. First thing we're going to do is take the two white wires. These are your neutral wires, and I'm going to twist these together just a little bit, and then we're going to put a wire nut on it. I normally like to twist those two wires together good enough that they stay together even without the wire nut. We'll go ahead and put the wire nut on. And just for safety, it's a good idea to go ahead and put a little piece of electrical tape on there just to hold that wire nut in place, just in case it tries to come loose in the future. Okay. Now on the switch, you want to be sure that you install it so that the toggle switch is in the correct position. This does say off down this way. If you flip it up, it says on. So we do want to install it in this position, and we're going to take the hot wire that's coming from the main meter box. Get my ground down there out of the way. The hot wire is going to go on the bottom terminal. Get that tightened up. Okay, the other hot wire that goes up to the light up there, the other hot wire going to the light goes on the top terminal. Okay, then we'll take both of the ground wires and we'll attach them to the ground lug right here. Okay, now on the two whites that we got the wire nut to, we're just going to push it to the back of the box, put the switch up here. You have to do a little bending to get the wires in there so it'll fit. Okay, and that's all there is to installing a light switch, single pole light switch using number 14 gauge wire for a 15-amp circuit. This is the completed light switch. We've got 3 switches in here. One controls the right-hand side of the building, the other one controls the left-hand side of the building, and the third switch controls the lights that's up in the loft on both ends. Okay, I just want to let everybody know that we are finished with wiring the inside of the building. It took approximately 12 hours to do the wire. That's pulling all the wires, wiring up the main panel box, and installing all the outlets and switches. Let me turn the camera around here, and I'll just show you a little bit of how it looks. Okay, this is walking in from the main door. The panel box is over here on the right hand side. It's got a main breaker, and we're using 5 other breakers to control all the circuits. The outlets, they run all the way around the building. In some locations here, he's planning on having a table that'll possibly be like a desk. So we put 4 outlets there for him. He's got 20 amp outlets all the way around the entire building. If you can see them down through there, they're spaced every 4 foot from one end to the other all the way around. We got the 3 switches installed here that controls all the lights on one side of the building, and then all the lights on the other side of the building, and then the 3rd switch. This is the 3rd switch. It controls the lights up in the loft. This controls depending on which way you look, it controls the lights down that way, and then this one controls the lights this way. Okay. We cannot put power on it until we finish digging the trench outside, and we'll be bringing the main power in over here underneath the panel box, and it will tie in right there at the bottom of the panel box. But after we got through, we took time and swept everything out, cleaned it up, and got rid of all the dust that was in here. So when we get the main power run from the house out to here and tied on, we'll come back and do you another video on that. Thanks for watching this video. Hope you've enjoyed it. Hope it helped you out if you had any questions on anything. And appreciate you watching our videos. Thanks.